shot to the waiting room.
All right, I can't seem to get enough chess, so let's play some more chess and listen to Are the DMT Entities Real by Nelson Dellis on Debriefed. It's that guy. They used to be a magician or something. Not Nelson, but I can't remember this guy's name, but his name's like Michael something. But his Area 52 is the channel. Give, a little bit of advertisement for them. But I just got done with a session where I went 3 wins, no losses, all games that I probably should have lost at some point, I felt.
But the lore and the legend of this creature is everywhere. In recent
so I'm feeling pretty good. I don't want to work. I don't feel good enough to work, but
this creature attacked her.
Let's play. I feel good enough to play. All right, so here we go. Here we go.
This camera angle picks up my balding head perfectly.
Balding head?
Good thing it's not on my side.
Not yet. We actually got one behind.
All right, we got the Scandinavian defense.
Pawn captures D5.
Right here.
In the
Queen
skiff.
captures
Right
D5.
here.
Welcome to the
Knight
skiff,
C3.
Nelson Dellis.
Knight C3.
Thank you, man. Thanks for
Let's
having me.
go here.
We got a
Bishop
lot to
E2.
talk about today.
Yeah.
Bishop
So much.
G4.
Where do we
Yeah.
start?
Let me start by introducing you to the audience in case you're not familiar. Nelson's been featured on many of the investigations.
D4.
He's an official
Bishop
field agent
captures
here at Area
E2.
52, reporting for duty.
Pawn
He's been
captures
involved
E2.
with the
Queen
initial
A5.
investigation, which was the remote viewing project we did.
Castles
We then did
kingside.
the OBE thing
Pawn
together.
E6.
I'm going to go into my session, and I'm going to have an OBE, float over to her room, see the number,
Bishop
and then
F4.
afterwards validate it with her that we have the same number.
So technically this would be my 5th out-of-body experience, including the 2 that I had last year.
And we go to the debriefing room, and I see the girl come down.
All right, I have no
downstairs,
idea what I've got myself
holding
into
paper.
here, but
can see
yeah, I
Bishop
saw that
D6.
coming.
But suddenly I could see.
So what has he got here? He's
And now
got
we're, investigating some other things.
stuff.
But before we get into all that, also, Nelson has a YouTube channel where he shares a lot of his memory techniques because if you don't know, Nelson is now the reigning 6-time U.S. memory champion.
Feels good to hear that.
Yeah.
It's been a few years. Yeah.
It's such a cool thing for you to still be able
go here.
to conquer.
Knight E4.
I mean, let's get into that real
getting
quick
pretty
before
weird
we get
looking,
into
but-
anything else, because I think, for me anyways, I'm very fascinated with your infatuation with memory. It leaked over to my space a little bit.
Bishop E7.
because I-
He could
I
have
as well,
totally
learned a lot of memory
taken, and
techniques
then I
from
would
you.
have a knight here, and then he just
But it
plays
is endlessly
here.
fascinating.
And
Can
what do I
you
do?
talk us through perhaps this latest endeavor where
So I
you
just got lucky.
back into the championship
Yeah.
and took home the title?
Yeah, because the last time I won was 2021. That was my 5th title, and I had been chasing that 5th one for a few years. I had lost a couple times, and it was frustrating because
Knight
I wanted
2
to
C3.
win this or get this title. Well, it wasn't a title; it was just a record of the most wins ever, which was fun.
Pawn
The previous-
C6.
Oh.
There's a guy with 4, and I was tied with him, so I was like, I gotta, And once I had started going for that,
Queen G4.
I felt like I had to go out on a win. So, because I had, I wanted to have a lasting legacy. I didn't want to just lose and lose and lose and then be like, I'm going to pull back. So I won that one, and I was very happy with it, very satisfying. And I said, okay,
All
I'm
right.
good. But then I was still involved with the competitions, doing commentating.
We had
and
a
helping
good move
with the
here.
production, and every year I'd kind of be like, oh, I'd love to
We still have it.
see if I could be up there and
Kinda,
still compete.
maybe.
And then I was like, no. I did my story is good. It's got a nice little bow on it.
But
then
that would have
for
been
some
great
reason
right
this year,
away. Well, no, I
just
guess we
felt
didn't have it
like
right
was
away until
time.
after I
there
played
was a
this.
lot that lined up, and it felt
'Cause
right
then
to
he
get back
played
in.
that.
I felt like I was going. I don't want to sound too cocky about it, but it wasn't about that. It was like I saw myself as the champion, like
Wow.
like a vision. I had it in me
Wow.
there, and
right.
I was like, I should go and get it.
This is it's super interesting because where your journey has taken you, throughout your life.
It's his turn,
You are
right?
now in a place that is totally different
Cool.
than you're a different person than you were when you first started doing this memory thing.
My God, yeah,
You've gone through so much
yeah.
internally as a person and physically, even like with the endurance stuff.
and the hair loss.
And the hair loss specifically. I was going to bring that up. So, I mean, recently you said there was like you envisioned this. So do you think that the Monroe experience,
cool.
remote viewing, saga,
let's
and
go
all
ahead and
of
do
this
this
plays
then.
into
Get him nice and trapped in the center.
Plays
captures
into,
D6.
you know, you winning this? Like, do you think that was a big part of it?
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, you're right. I mean, this has been a journey of mine for like 15 years, and I look back
Queen
on the
F5.
2011.
He's
winner.
getting
That was my
scared.
first championship win, and yeah, it was so much younger, 13 years younger, different person. The stuff that I went through this year, the Monroe.
I wish I had a light squared bishop.
Systems were totally.
He's
different.
threatening this pawn, but
you know,
I could
had
play
the
here
motivation to
threatening
train and be
that,
champion
so then
back
he'd play
then,
there.
but in a different way. You know, I recognized hard work and said, okay, this is what I got to do if I train for this, and push, blah blah blah. I'm going to get to this point. You know, this year was so different, and partly because of the Monroe Institute experience, because it was. Yes, I still had to train, of course, but there was like a deeper self-belief where I was almost just relying on what was to unfold. And of course, I recognize, you know, things can happen. Other people are training too. I don't know what's going to happen. I could lose, but at the same time, I knew what I was doing in terms of putting myself in the mix for this competition, that's what I had to do this year. And I felt like I saw myself at the end, or in a position to be at the end, you know? And I also used some of the relaxation meditation techniques that I learned at the retreat in between the events at the championship.
Interesting, like Focus 10 and that type of thing?
Yeah.
Did you put on headphones and like would go into wow.
Yeah, I was especially right before the final event, which is the double deck of cards. It's the
Queen
last three of us.
F5.
We got to memorize 2 decks of cards in 5 minutes, and it's on stage. It's super stressful because you make one mistake, we go one by one reciting the cards. We each memorize the same 2 decks, and if you make a mistake, you're done.
Pawn captures F5.
Very stressful. No matter how many times I've practiced it, and I have practiced it a lot, I can do it in my sleep. But on stage, it's a different story.
Yeah.
You know, everybody who's gotten to that point can say the same thing. But I went outside and put on like a 5 to 10 minute Focus 10.
Wow.
And man, it was calming. It also like helped me manifest what was about to go down. And it happened the way that I saw it, which was kind of validating.
I don't know.
I remember the text that you were sending me, and I remember also feeling that. I remember texting you being like, yeah, you got this, like you're gonna win.
Yeah.
And you had some
Rook
interesting
FE1.
synchronicities happen with the dimes.
Yeah. I mean, that's been happening since Monroe
King
was going to be a
D7.
thing. Not right at Monroe, but actually.
Do you want to explain what that is?
Sure. So I've had this thing in my life where I've always found
Bishop
dimes.
E5. Pawn
And
F6.
At first, I didn't think this was a thing, but I've actually asked around, and people say, "Oh, it's a loved one."
Bishop
You know,
F4.
dropping
High,
a little
right.
thing. Yeah, it's like the pennies from heaven kind of thing.
Sure.
But people
Knight
see dimes
E7.
as well. And I hadn't heard that. Most people I've talked to,
Knight
that
A4.
doesn't happen to them, but
Yeah.
a select few have told me they've had similar experiences with dimes. But what's funny is in my life, that's always kind of happened, and I've always superstitiously said to myself, oh, if when
Knight
I find a
A6.
dime and I put it in my little piggy jar or whatever I have
Yeah.
of dimes, I get a gig or like some financial thing
Right.
comes my way. But I never gave too much credence to it.
You always thought it was money related.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know, all the times I didn't find dimes and I still got gigs, you know, like I don't think
Sure.
about that. It was just a fun thing to think
Yes.
about. I didn't really believe in it much. But then this year, ramping
Pawn
up to the
C4.
Monroe, you know, we talked about this before, but I was supposed to go with you. That didn't happen. I went on my own. And since then, I've found a dime maybe every week and a half.
You've logged this.
Yeah. I kept
Rook
I have a
HG8.
small little jar now, and I log them. I also log all the other coins I find, which is not that many comparatively. I think by now
Pawn
I've
A3.
found 20 dimes.
Wow.
And you know, I ask everybody around me, like, how many dimes have you found? And they're like, what?
None. Yeah. I don't think I've found a dime. I can't remember.
And it's so funny. We were in New York City with my family. They came up to see me, and my brother, biggest skeptic ever. when I tell him these stories, he rolls his eyes, like his eyes go all the way over there, you know? And he's like, man, if I looked for a dime in New York City, I'd find
Pawn
one.
H5.
I was like, okay, we're there for 2 days. You look hard everywhere. See if you find one. Like, you got to find one on the street, right? He couldn't find one. Of course, I found one the next day, right before we were about to have breakfast with him. I was like, look, I found one on the way.
Wow.
And it was right at the moment where I was like, oh, I wish I could find one right now because we're about to see Spencer, my brother. I could show it to him. Not that it would change his mind. And there it was.
Almost like,
So anyways, all these synchronicities have been happening even before the trip to compete at this championship. I found a dime at the airport.
You sent me a text of that.
Yeah, in the airport.
Right before you're like, I'm going to win. Like, I let me look at the text specifically because you said something akin to, I felt your confidence.
Yeah.
Through the text.
I don't even send you all the pictures of them because I feel like it's annoying, you know. But I do take a picture of everyone.
That is the one from Christmas that you sent me.
That was just the other day.
The other day. But yeah, like most of the pictures I have from you are just pictures of you holding a dime.
Yeah.
Pawn captures
and
D5.
I remember texting you back, being
Rook
like,
AE1.
you pulled that one out of your pocket.
Rook GE8.
Because if you know, people listening, it's like, oh yeah, I mean, I find a coin here and there. It's just a dime. But sometimes the context in which it's found and the thoughts that are happening in my head as I find it and the situation are just so perplexing to me that it's more than just, that's the one. Yeah.
So you said, you sent me a picture of a dime. I recognize it's an airport carpet. It's dirty, weird texture. And you go, I was waiting to find one today. Yeah. I knew I would right before my competition tomorrow. And I said, dude, I was sending vibes already. And then the next text I got from you
King captures
is,
E8.
I go, how did it go? You linked me to the stream, and then you sent me a picture, which I'll put up now, is you with the trophy.
Pawn B4.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
King
That's
D7.
Yeah.
And have you found a correlation between, and I have my own personal answer for this, but I want to hear yours, between
King F1.
the intention of meditating and the amount of synchronous experiences or just things that happen around you. Do you find a correlation, like
King
the more
E6.
you meditate, the more synchronicities happen, like
King
these
E2.
dimes?
Yeah, it may
King
not
F7.
necessarily be, for me, the meditation. It's more the belief.
King F3.
Because, yes, after the Monroe, I was meditating a lot. I was
Pawn H4.
working off that high.
Pawn
Now
H3.
I find myself slipping out of it a bit. It's just like, I don't have the time, or I'm tired. With poor kids, it's hard to manage a 45-minute quiet session.
Yeah.
You're like, see you later, wife. I'm going to go have some time to myself.
Yeah,
if
like
you don't mind."
a quiet FaceTime between us is when only one of your
G6.
kids is
Oh
yelling.
my God. Yeah, I feel so embarrassed every time I
No,
call
it's
you.
fine.
Bishop
Like for you,
D6.
it's like, oh no, it's only one yelling right now.
Yeah,
It's
this is
pretty good.
serene.
King H6.
But yeah, it's
King F4.
you know,
I don't know what this
dropped
guy
off,
thinks he's doing
that
here.
a little bit. But I'd say
King
when
G6.
I'm really focused on observing these synchronicities and welcoming them into my life and understanding this belief of something bigger than me, that's when they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I was at the Monroe and as that tapered off, they were, I think, if I've mapped some of them out, all these synchronicities. I have a whole document now and the dimes, and there's a huge peak there.
There's a peak
of
Pawn
that time,
G3.
and the weeks after. And there was a time, maybe a few weeks ago, where I was so distracted with other things, and it was like quiet. I didn't
Pawn
find
captures
dimes. There was like
G3.
a little
This
stretch
guy
there.
is
Pawn
not
captures
doing
G.
well.
Then the one that you just showed me at the Christmas party, most recently, was me kind of getting back into it, and there it was, and there were all these other synchronicities.
See how I got them all trapped in there. This is called zugzwang, when you don't have any
Your
move.
attention shifted to this phenomenon or to this
not.
King F7.
reality
Yeah.
that these things can happen.
King captures
It's almost as
F5.
if when you
King
believe or you
G7.
know that this reality is possible, and you really believe that fundamentally,
Yeah.
that's when things start to unlock.
Pawn G4.
And, you know,
King
last
F7.
time you left here, we did a
Pawn
podcast,
H4.
and I think this
King
was the
G7.
last time we did something together was a post Monroe thing.
Pawn H5.
When you got here, you told me
King F7.
that you had a meditation and you had asked
Pawn H6.
Whatever this entity was
G8.
that was giving you information during this deep meditation. You
King
called it like the
captures
architect or
F6.
something.
Yeah.
King H7.
But you had asked it,
Pawn G5.
like, how do I deal
King G8.
with sort of
Pawn
reintegrating
G6.
after Monroe?
King H8.
Yeah.
And it said, you told me, Chris has the answer.
That's right. Yeah.
And when you sprung this upon me, I felt like, whoa, that's a lot of pressure. Like, I don't know how to answer that. I wish I had an answer for you.
Cool.
You know, I wish I could be like, oh, yeah, I knew you were going to ask this.
Okay, let's
also
review.
told me. You know, I didn't know what to say. And I remember before you left, I said, oh, did you ever
Pawn
read
E4.
The Alchemist?
Pawn captures D5.
And you had said,
Knight
something
C3.
like, oh, during high
Queen
school,
E5 check.
it was like near
Bishop
misses.
E2.
Like you never read it. You always
Bishop
intended
G4.
on reading it, and it was always sort of
Pawn
there.
D4.
And I had it. And I
Bishop
said, do you want
captures
the
E2.
book? And at first you said no,
Pawn
because it's your
captures
book.
E2.
I'll just buy it myself.
Queen A5.
And then before you left, you
Castles
said, you know what, I
kingside.
will take that book.
Pawn
Because I do
E6.
believe you offered it to me for
Bishop
a reason.
F4.
What
Bishop
happened after you read that
D6.
book?
Yeah, I mean, it had the
Bishop
answers
F4.
that I needed.
Specific answers.
Pawn E6.
Yeah.
So there's a better move here.
And to be clear, 'cause I said this on the
D5.
last, where we talked about this
D5.
briefly,
Oh yeah, because his
I
king's
don't.
in the
That book was
center.
not out in high school, so I even misremembered what the book was. I think I
Right.
was thinking of Giver or something
That's
like that.
pretty strong
Some
right
book
here.
that you're supposed to
I
read
see.
in middle school. So because that book came out,
Boom.
it was
Pawn D5.
late high school,
Right.
even early
Pawn
college.
E6.
Alright.
But I definitely heard about it.
Bishop
but
F4.
Never any interest in
Yeah.
reading it. I don't read those kinds
Bishop
of books.
D6.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fascinating. I don't necessarily want to share the questions and the answers.
Knight
It's
E4.
very
Yeah.
personal, but the answer was in there.
Yeah.
So what I was looking at is what about
because I'm sure there's people listening thinking,
Bishop captures
yeah, if
F4.
you look for stuff,
Knight
you're gonna
captures
find
F4.
something.
Yeah.
You know.
That's how it works.
Queen F5.
But yeah, exactly. That's how
Oh,
it
okay.
works, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess
and
I got that.
choose
Queen
to give
F3.
them meaning.
Yeah.
Not incredible meaning. It's not like
Alright.
you know. Oftentimes,
Queen
the
F5.
synchronicities I write down are
Bishop captures
as I'm
F4.
writing something or texting something.
Knight
I
E4.
hear that same word.
Bishop D6.
You know.
So
sometimes it's very
this is
light.
better.
Yeah, the
Bishop
word.
captures D6.
Like I was telling my mom about a
Pawn
show that I
captures
saw
D6.
a preview for, Land
Knight
with
E4.
John Hamm and stuff,
Hmm.
and how she started watching it. And as she said land,
What about
I passed a sign that
No,
said
that's
like
not gonna work.
huge, like
these
land.
guys? I got
Yeah.
You know, stuff like
like
that.
something
you
like
know,
that attacking that square.
But does it mean anything?
It is synchronized.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it looks
It
pretty
is
good.
asynchronicity.
And my
By
view,
definition,
Bishop
yeah.
captures
no,
D6.
and my view on these happening
Bishop
a lot
D6. Bishop E7.
is that it's kind of like a guide to say
Knight
like you're on the
C3.
right path.
Sure.
Pawn C6.
And that you're focused
B4.
on the
Bishop
right things.
E7.
Right.
And even if it's just made up in my head,
Yeah.
I think it serves me well, and it
Yeah.
Pawn
it aligns
B4.
me better with what I'm trying to do. in life.
What?
So where's the fault in that, right? Like,
Absolutely.
I think I'm totally fine to believe in something like that because it
Yeah.
elevates everything I'm doing.
I think so. I think you have nothing to gain by being skeptical and everything to gain
Queen
by
F5.
believing it.
Yeah.
And because I'm not saying, by doing this you have to
Knight
follow
4
this
G3.
dogma, and you have to
Queen
do this
F5.
ritual every day. Like there's
Pawn
nothing
B4.
involved in
Bishop
that process.
captures
What's
other
wrong
than
with
just
that?
noticing magical shit.
Yeah.
So I love that. And for everybody else
B1.
being like, oh, there's no meaning and it's just a coincidence and it's all this. It's like, cool. So, what does that help you?
Right.
Because if it does, then great.
Knight
If
D7.
rationalizing these things
Pawn
brings you some
C3.
type of inner contentment and joy,
That's some tactical mojo
Awesome.
right there, man.
Bishop E7.
it doesn't for me. I do enjoy rationalizing them, but only
You guys seeing
because
this?
Rook captures
I
B7.
want to.
Crazy.
I wanna see
Okay, I
that,
feel pretty
right?
good
So I
about
have to
it.
break it down to see if it's
Let's
possible.
just
Bishop
go through and
captures
see
you
the
have to
ups
let
and
go.
downs
Sometimes you gotta
of
let
what
go
I
and
actually
just
played
kinda
here.
see where it takes you.
Knight
Be
E4.
open to it.
Pawn E6.
And like in that book, The Alchemist, which is a
Bishop
great book.
D6. Bishop E7.
When you,
Knight
it's
2
almost
C3.
as if when you're aware of it,
Pawn C6.
it opens itself
Queen
to you
G4.
Correct. Yeah.
more and
Pawn
more. It kind of
G6.
rewards
Uh-oh.
you for seeing
Knight
it.
D6 check.
Something
like,
better here. Bishop
Universal
E5.
quantum
Yeah.
consciousness is like,
Well,
thank you for
yeah,
noticing.
I guess that's really
Here's a
strong.
gift.
Five.
Yep. Yeah.
And for anyone out there saying, is this real? Is this
Pawn
not real?
F6.
Look at anyone you've ever
Oh.
looked up to, or any person
Queen
that has
captures
gained
E6.
some modicum
Pawn
of success
captures E5.
in their life, and
Knight
ask
Business
them about
time.
this stuff. And there's a great chance, I'm probably not 100%, but there's a great chance that a lot of people will say, no, there were signs. And I listened to those signs. Or my heart
Check
guided
and
me.
meet. Okay, that's good to know.
And so, you know, perhaps
some
there's a
tactics
correlation
going on there.
scientifically to all
I
of this,
totally
or
overlooked
statistically.
that.
You know, that's
I was a
very
little worried
hard
about
to
things
prove, but I think that's the
that
beautiful
weren't there.
part of it, is that maybe
Let's
it
go
isn't
ahead and
meant to
play
be proved.
another
Maybe
one.
it is just a belief thing.
Where's my mouse?
And
Okay.
leave it at that.
Let's do some more.
You don't want to believe it, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, but it doesn't hurt anyone to want to believe it or to believe it. Like, you don't, there's no extra process.
Exactly, yeah. And I think it has added a lot more joy and fun to my days. Like, when I see a stupid coincidence like that, or synchronicity, however you want to term it, it's like I feel like something's along the ride with me, and it makes me just chuckle to myself, you know. And I feel like I'm a much more positive person because of these little things that I notice. And I feel like I'm not alone, you know, in this journey with myself.
Yeah. That's cool, man. I think it's great. I mean, I've had my own. I've talked about, you know, the 11/11 coming after Monroe, wouldn't stop, and then had this culmination moment at, you know, going to Washington for this UAP thing, which
sounds wild.
Yeah, and everything I looked into with 11/11
we're missing
showed
some.
me that it
There's not a lot of
represents
people playing right now or
change.
something.
Right, it represents like a great change
On
is coming.
E5.
And I was like, okay,
Bishop B5.
what change? You know, what change? And when I got that last
On
message
C6.
from Jesse,
Bishop
being like, we
A4.
should go to DC, and I sent him the text of like the flights, and it was 11/11 on the 11th
Pawn B5.
month of the 11th day. It was
Bishop
like
B3.
11, like everything was 11. And I was just like, whoom, zoned
Pawn
in, be like,
A5.
this is what it meant. This is the big change.
On A4.
Now, in retrospect, after doing that, the amount of people I've met at that and what has come from it, the change in my subscriber base, in my everything shifted, like seismically, and for the positive. And I think
Knight
it was because of
F6.
that. I think that was a dramatic fork in the road for my career, at least.
Pawn D3.
Potentially my whole life. And so I'm grateful that I noticed that sign. Had I not noticed that sign,
You would never have taken that flight.
yeah, I don't know what would have happened. Maybe something great would have happened on the other end.
Sure.
But this did happen, so yeah.
I haven't figured out. I feel like the dime thing for me specifically is like
Pawn
your
B4.
11/11.
You just haven't found it yet?
Bishop
I haven't
G5.
figured out what it's for yet.
I mean, you won the championship.
That's true, but there's still
There's still, you feel
still
there's something
happening.
more.
And I feel a sense that wasn't what it was for along the way. But I've been playing around. Like I'm
Bishop
starting to think that
C5.
it's maybe a way to communicate with whatever is placing them there
Interesting.
or getting them there, and for
Knight
getting me
F3.
to find them. So I asked it a question the other day. The
Pawn
universe.
D6.
They.
That's their pronouns.
Pawn
right?
H3.
What they asked it a question and said, you know, give me a dime, show me a sign, give me a dime in 24 hours if this is
Castles,
yes,
king
you
side.
know. Didn't find anything. Okay, so I don't know. I'm playing around with seeing if there's some kind of
Knight B
system
D2.
here.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been paying attention to like questions I've been asking myself or things I've
Pawn
been thinking when I
H6.
found them. But maybe there is
Bishop
some pattern,
H4.
you know.
Yeah. Well, the stones in The Alchemist.
Bishop E6.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know, because
Pawn
and
G4.
he seldom asks them questions.
Yeah.
Because sometimes he doesn't like the answer, sometimes he doesn't want to know the answer, sometimes he's forcing it.
Yeah.
So it has to be right.
Yeah. Interesting. Either way, it's a fun little side quest that
Sure.
will reveal itself in its time. Probably. Maybe I'm trying too hard sometimes, you know, to figure it out, and it'll just unfold, just like you weren't looking for 11/11.
Yep.
Right? So.
Yeah. So, all right, this brings me. We'll put a nice ribbon on the
Pawn
synchronicity
G5.
stuff for now, and I do want to get into
Bishop G3.
what we did last night. Nelson and I became psychonauts a little bit last night, and we did DMT, dimethyltryptamine. Okay. Before I get into this, I don't promote the use of DMT or any other drug. I do not encourage you to try it. This was for educational and scientific purposes. It was for research. We did it in a safe environment, and everything was handled very respectfully and professionally. But that being said, That was tripping balls, bro.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. Do you want to start it off?
Sure. I'll also start by saying I don't condone doing. I mean, you can make your own choices, all right. But I've never in my life really been one who wants to do drugs. I've dabbled with weed if it's offered. I'll take a hit, blah blah blah. But I've never actively gone and found a dealer and said I need to have weed in my house. Like, it's fine. I mean, I appreciate it. I love it. It feels great. It's just I'm working on other things. It doesn't come across my life. Anyways, but this psychedelics has kind of been on my radar in the last year or so. I got the opportunity to try mushrooms earlier this year. That was my first dive into that, and had a really profound experience. And it was kind of a stepping stone because ultimately I wanted to try DMT and see what that was about.
I mean, you hit a pretty heroic dose last we spoke. You're like, you've never tried shrooms before. And then you're like, I don't know, it was only like 3 grams. I'm like, dude, I would do like half a gram.
Well, I wanted to do something substantial. I was told that wasn't the hero dose yet.
Yeah, but you were told that by like some type of hero. Like,
probably.
That's an insane amount for anyone dabbling.
But and here's the other thing is, I'm not trying to do this to get like a high. I was trying to look what was behind the veil, if anything. And same with the DMT. That was ultimately where I wanted to get to. And I've heard some crazy stories, listened to many podcasts, read many books about it at this point. But it also felt a bit scary. It's like, before being interested in psychedelics, it all sounded like hard drugs. Like, oh my God, what's going to happen to me if I open myself to that? But I'm seeing it as
I'm kind of lost here.
Door that I want to open up and look
I don't
inside,
see
and see what's
anything
there. And
good.
compare it to other experiences that I've had, the Monroe Institute, the remote viewing, memory stuff, and see what it all means, like in my head, where it lays in this landscape of human experiences.
I mean, the typical breaks like this wouldn't be good.
So I had a friend who
we're
I'd love
weak
to
here.
at some point. He'd be great to have on the show.
Taking here, he just retakes, threatening
There's a
this.
lot
I
about
just come
consciousness
back.
and DMT. And
if I had
he
played
helps
my
kind of
queen to
connect the
here,
dots.
his knight can just come into here.
I'd call
And then I just
shamanic
got to
energy.
play back to
Personal
here,
shaman,
lining up with that.
Awesome. And
so this seemed better.
Yeah, he managed to point me in the direction to procure some of this substance, and I wanted to do it with you, and here we are.
Yeah. So this was first of all, we had a pen. If you guys want to see the full experience, we pretty much documented the entire thing.
Cool.
It'll be available for the interns on membership.
I'm going to open up this
Patreon.
diagonal.
And we put up weekly vlogs over there, so you guys can check it out. It's $5 a month. You get access to all this stuff. But it's something I can't upload on YouTube.
No.
Because it really does go through sort of our process. And my brother even came over to deliver a laser at one point, because I was like, well, we got to try this like Danny Goler sort of laser experiment that I've been hearing about, the Discovery. And so he brought that over. He got involved, and he's always been, a bit of a psychonaut as well, and dabbling quite heavily in psilocybin, and does have a reverence for it, like myself. I've had a lot of bad trips in the past, which is why I had such a strong reluctance and anxiety before.
We got problems here.
Now,
okay.
You brought this pen. It was a pen, so it's in the vape.
There's no more
form.
of that. Let's go.
And because of that, it is like low dose, and you can ease into the high. You can, you take a hit, you hold it in for 30 seconds, you wait, you take another one, you do this for like half an hour, and eventually you scale up.
Queen F7.
And then you'll sort of blast off into like this waiting room, which, we'll get into. And then after that, if you choose to, you can go through that and completely disembody yourself and go into an alternate realm. Yeah. We had our first experience. We each had...
Oh, wait. I forgot about my night.
Night CD2.
Okay, cool.
During that first one. I didn't, in retrospect, get to the waiting room in the first one. Because when I got there the second time, I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah.
You know, but before we did all this, we meditated for 45 minutes.
Yeah, that made a huge difference.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It dampened the anxiety and the excitement even.
Pawn H4.
You know, you got here, I'd prepared this whole
shit.
office to be moody. We had some
pawn captures H4
music going, you know.
Guitars and
I really
drones.
fucked up.
Exactly.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Vibey.
Very vibey.
Yeah.
Very safe.
Yeah.
And so I was really trying to make this space conducive to a proper good trip. And I think I did that. We had water, we had our journals. After the meditation, we wrote down our intentions.
Right.
Which I think was
Rook captures
important.
H4.
We also wrote down a few numbers to see if we could
Knight
psychically,
F6.
telepathically connect during these trips. And again, you can check all that out.
Yeah.
But then we had our experiences.
Yeah.
Do you want to like just sort of share a general idea
Sure.
of your trip?
Yeah, and to preface what I'm about to say, I did try, I think freebasing.
We got
is
problems.
The term with an herb infused.
I got some problems.
DMT through pipe.
Pawn captures
past,
G5.
Yeah, like a month and a half
Queen
ago,
G6.
by myself.
Fuck.
Knight captures E6
And
check.
I'm not a smoker, so
King
like
F7.
it was harsh. I coughed a lot, so I don't think I kept much of it down. So the experience
Knight
was
captures
mild,
F8.
even though it like hurt.
Rook captures
to
F8.
do it. So I didn't love it, but I saw some very interesting things I was doing outside. The stars like moved and connect. It was wild, but it was very temporary, and I was like, oh, I thought it would go deeper. So I was
Castle's
instructed to try
queenside.
the vape version
Yeah.
because I'd have more control. It'd be smoother, yeah. So that's what I brought to you. In terms of the experience this time, I think I got a lot further.
Dude,
I
I
didn't
sucked
break
it
through,
up bad,
as they
man.
say, into this other
Knight
reality.
C7.
But I got to the waiting room. I shot to the waiting room, and had a really beautiful experience with what I felt was some entity communicating with me.
Yeah, female entity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Rook D8.
And it was so interesting because it was playful and it was very sexual too.
Knight E6.
And colorful. Yeah, and there was a lot of synchronicities kind of baked into the experience with the music and where we were and what was happening, what I was realizing, that it just made this whole experience, at least that first time, seem so much bigger than what I ever expected. And part of me was like, I wanted to go to the other side and
Rook
see what's
H6.
over there. But I realized
Queen
after a
G5.
while in this, up and down of taking hits and trying to staying in the waiting room, that this entity was luring me in kind of gently, for a reason. And that this is what I was going to experience this time,
Yeah.
And she eventually disappeared, even though I kept hitting. And I was like, okay, I think that's her saying, that was the intro, buddy.
Right.
Come back for more another time.
Right.
Or that's it. That's our encounter for life. And now you know something that you didn't before.
King B1.
Very profound. How about you?
Knight
Tell me
D4.
about your first.
Yeah, I mean, I did not make it to the waiting room the first time, and I realized that because of what happened on the second time. So we did 2 sessions an hour apart, so you do have to wait because you grow some type of tolerance for it during that hour. I am a little hungover today. I will say that. Like,
Same.
my senses are a little foggy,
Yeah.
and I did have a slight headache. It did feel, which I don't enjoy.
But I think that was because of the second punch.
Yeah.
If we had.
I did feel a little bit during
Yeah?
the first as
Okay.
well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a residual feeling of it's familiar because if you've ever done psilocybin, that coming down phase, that kind of like lingers for a while, even though you're not
Queen D1.
spaced out or like seeing anything crazy. You're still kind of euphoric, and that sense is still there. But yeah, so I did this. I was very apprehensive about this, and I vocalized that to you a few times. I was very nervous
King
because
E7.
I've had some terrible experiences.
I felt bad. I was like, are you sure you want me to? I feel like I want you
No,
to.
it was like almost like a rite of passage for me.
Knight C4.
I haven't.
King D7.
I've been sober from weed for almost a year now, and vape for more than a
Night
year.
captures
What
a
the
five.
fuck
almost a
am I
year.
doing?
So it's been a good cleansing journey for me, and I'm someone who in the past
I
went
can't do
heavy
this.
on a lot
I
of
really
things and
screwed up.
Experimented with pretty much everything in my youth, and gotten to some crazy places, but it was never for the right reasons. It was always for...
This is a message from...
It's my split flap.
Oh,
I
man.
turn that off. It
All
randomly
right, let's
updates,
see
like,
what I
my
could have done better
subscriber
there.
stuff, but, yeah, it was always recreational, and it was always
Bishop A4.
seen as, like, I would
Bishop
always go
B3.
into it as, like, whoa, this is going
Pawn
to be fun
C6.
and cool, and
Bishop
rather
B5.
than anything profound. So this
Pawn
was,
C6.
for me, the very
Bishop
first
A4.
time that I've ever
Pawn B5.
done anything
So that's not good.
that was
Bishop
deeper
A4.
than just some
D5,
ego
A5.
trip.
more intense.
A6,
Yeah.
D5, A5.
Yeah, less desire for it to be fun, like more like, oh, this is a mission.
Or for like
This
Pawn
is-
B5.
Yeah, exactly.
Bishop B3.
And so going into that,
Pawn A5.
after the meditation
Pawn
did help
A4.
me. And then
Knight
after the
F6.
first like couple hits, I
Pawn
started
D3.
realizing the euphoria
B4.
and the familiar
Bishop G5.
body buzz that you get.
Bishop C5.
Similar, not dissimilar.
Knight
I'm going to
F3.
make a lot of connections here
Pawn
to
D6.
meditating out of body,
Pawn H3.
but not dissimilar to
Castles
the pre-OBE
kingside.
phase,
Knight BD2.
where you're not quite
Pawn
phasing in
H6.
and out of your body yet,
Bishop
but you do
H4.
feel a general sense of
Bishop
vibratory
E6.
senses
Pawn
going around
G4.
you. I felt myself
Pawn
kind
G5.
of swaying like this
Bishop
and up and down,
G3.
like almost on a wave.
Man, this is
but I
just
wasn't
horrible.
moving, I was stable.
Queen E2.
And so that's where I was like, okay,
King G7.
this I understand.
Bishop
This
captures
I've been here
E6.
before.
All right, this is just
So it
horrible.
made me feel more
Captures
comfortable.
E6.
As I kept
Pawn
hitting,
B3.
I
Knight FD7.
I kept expecting
Pawn
some like
E5.
crazy fractal
Pawn
thing to
C6.
happen. It was very
Bishop
subtle at
A4.
first. And as I
Pawn
closed my
D5.
eyes, now this
Pawn
is the part that I
captures
don't know
D5.
if this was my like
Queen
imaginal
captures
sense
D5.
or if it was my trip that
It
was
just goes
guiding me.
here.
But
Knight
I
C3.
kept seeing, images of
See, I'm not seeing that.
like from above. It was very, very strange. It had depth.
All
and
right.
That's something I keep coming back to is that every hit I took added depth. It added like
Interesting.
3D-ness.
Yeah, because didn't you say at one point it was like a flat?
If I open my eyes,
Kind of? Okay.
if I open my eyes,
All
everything
right,
felt
I got that
two-dimensional.
Potzer next time.
Like, it was all on the
I'll
same
figure
plane.
something better
When I
out.
closed my eyes, like every hit I took was like expanding that depth. And I got to a point where I saw what I think was myself as a giant. I was like a giant, and I had the head of a falcon, and I was like,
Eagle.
Let's just do
it was
better.
eagle or falcon.
Pawn
It was like
E4.
it was like a golden beak and a black head,
Pawn E5.
and
Knight F3.
I was very tall,
Knight C6.
and I was in Egypt, and I was like
Bishop
Egyptian
B5.
garb, and the pyramids were
Knight
very
F6.
small compared to me. But I don't know
Castles
if that's
kingside.
because I was in
Knight
the air,
captures E4.
but I felt I was still tall, even though I might have been in the air.
Were your robes to the floor though?
I didn't have ropes.
Pawn D4.
No, I had like
Knight
between
D6.
my like
Oh, like a loin?
Bishop
yeah,
captures
exactly,
C6.
exactly. And I was like,
Pawn captures C6.
yeah, big black body. It was weird.
Knight F5.
And
Queen
and
captures
then
D8 check.
as I looked to my side,
King
everything got
captures
dark.
D8.
And I was holding this big golden buckle with like an Egyptian symbol on it. It was like an oval sort of buckle with like
Rook D1
intricate.
check.
This is the
And
better
I
way
look
with the
over here,
D4
and as
and
far as the eye
then
can
get the
see,
knight out and trade
there
the queen,
are
get the king
people
stuck in
like
the center
me,
a
but
bit.
different,
It's
different
it's
heads,
equal
different
though.
whatever.
F4.
And over here, and they all had their own buckle, and we were connecting them somehow to create some type of manufacturing,
Bishop
some type of
E6.
mechanism. And then as I hit it, it kept like
Knight C3.
getting more intense, and then at one point I just
Rook D8.
see this big eye in front of me, like this floating eye, like it's everywhere I look. It's green, and it reminded me of like the Eye of Sauron, but green, right? And it was right there in front of me.
Rook
And I
captures
felt,
D8 check.
and I remember I was
King captures
again.
D8.
Check out the Patreon, but I was
Rook
giggling
D1 check.
a lot.
Yeah, you
I,
were.
I kept giggling because there was a realization that all of this is so silly.
King C8.
And I thought that was the funniest joke. That, like, I can't believe, like, this is so beneath me. Not me, but this
Knight
being
E4.
Yeah.
that I was inhabiting.
Yeah, before you went on this trip or whatever.
Yeah, like this being that I am in this vision.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. That this experience was beneath it. And that's why I was giggling.
Okay.
Like, this is all just so petty.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Of course this exists. Like, and I'm like, ooh, chasing. It's like, yeah, because this exists. We know that.
Yeah.
And so there was this real feeling of something ancient within me that I was inhabiting
Bishop
or something.
E7.
There was like an ancient feeling like of knowledge and power.
Yeah.
And all of this was just so little to me, and I was giggling because I was laughing. I was like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
My
Until
toughest
the
thing
very
is the
end,
openings.
where
Once
the
I get
big
into the
eye
middle
appeared,
game,
and I
I
felt
usually
my
kind
body
of feel like I can
curl
make
in front of it. Like I felt
some
like
sort
I
of
was
creative
being,
effort,
like I
but
could not stop it. I was like, whoa, and like in my head,
I like
was
to get out of the
hunched
gate
over in
good.
half,
Pawn
bowing
G4.
Yeah.
to like this omnipotence. This
Knight
You
H4.
said like folded in half.
yeah, I was like just
folded.
just folded, you know, and I felt humbled that although
Knight
I
captures
felt
H4.
all this power and all
Bishop
of this
captures
control
H4.
and this like looking down on this experience and looking down on like all these things
Knight
that I'm trying
G5.
to accomplish in my life, like it was just like I was just like, this is also small. Like, what are you know that this exists?
Yeah.
What are you even looking for?
Bishop captures
And
G5.
then when this eye came up, I was like, womp. Had to bow to that.
Pawn H6.
Could not stop it, and it humbled me incredibly. Like
E7.
knowing all this exists, there's still that,
Yeah.
and that's when I decided to stop
Yeah.
Rook
and
E8.
pull out. So it was a really profound.
on the side.
Yeah, it was a profound
Bishop B4.
lesson. Cool, because I felt like it was like a VR almost, like I was like in an avatar.
I
And
got a
like,
problem here. I can't take.
got
and
to
then-
experience-
And that's not good.
some type of incredible sense of power and importance and like nobility and like ancientness. Like I
Pawn
felt
B6.
Yeah.
that, and it made me laugh at my human life
Yeah.
quite a bit. But I didn't break through. It was just all, again, is this imagination?
Oh, I
I
so
don't
could have
And you
won.
didn't see any
Pawn
fractals.
Everything.
C5.
It was-
Geometry, right?
I did.
What am I thinking?
C3.
Throughout, like a little bit, they were faint, but they weren't as real as the second time.
So
They
now I'm
were
just
in
in
the
a draw.
background. They were kind of like almost the fabric of what I was looking at.
I see.
Was made
That
of
sucks.
those
I could have
fractals.
really hurt him.
Cool. I mean, it's still a powerful message. It's
Bummer.
so interesting. Like even the thing I went through, I feel like you're gonna kind of see what is relevant to you. Or
Yeah.
these
Being
themes that
blind
keep
is
coming
not
up in your life,
ideal.
Probably. Like the ancient thing.
Yeah.
You talk about that a
Rook
lot,
D8.
Mhm.
and that's been important to you across all these experiences.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, you know, like I get it and it makes sense and I agree, but I've had other things that are
Mhm.
themes.
Rook
you know,
captures
and
D8 check.
those that
King captures
grow
D8.
and
Yeah.
Pawn
vibrate
B3.
and come to fruition in my experiences. As you know, it's so interesting how
Yeah.
it like just
Pawn
It
C4.
amplifies what you're
hooks onto what you're
Pawn
going
F4.
through or your
Cool.
deep kind of
Mhm.
concerns or feelings about things that you may not even be aware of are, you know?
Yeah. And then, so we took a break.
Sure. Can we do that?
No, we took
Oh.
a break before.
Okay.
Not taking a break
Like, you
now.
get a bathroom break? I don't know.
No. Take a break later.
The skiff you're not allowed out, right?
No.
Until it's done.
Yeah, they won't.
Yeah.
the doors are locked.
Shit. Okay, who's watching?
Pawn
They're all
captures
watching.
B3.
Can I get my
Um,
phone call?
Pawn captures
the
B3.
phones don't work in here.
Uh-oh.
We did we took a
Pawn
break.
G6.
And I called my brother over because I was like, let's try the laser
King
thing now
F2.
that we feel comfortable. And for if you're not familiar, I'll leave the link below. There's a trailer called for a documentary coming out called The Discovery by a guy named Danny Goler.
King D7.
And it is
King E3.
about looking into this type of laser while on DMT, you then realize that there's code. You
Yeah.
can see
King
numbers or
C6.
what look like symbols. And those symbols have spatial awareness and
E4.
permanence. They stay
Bishop
there.
D5
So
check.
if you move the laser, it reveals those symbols.
King
And those
D4.
symbols are, there's depth.
Bishop G2.
Now,
Pawn
we looked at the
H4.
laser sober-ish, and we could still perceive depth into the laser, almost like a magic eye.
Yeah.
So I understand that, but
H3.
there was nothing to see there.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah. It was,
at first.
but yeah, he brought that over and we set it up just in case. You know, we weren't even sure if we really wanted to go.
Yep.
But we kind of
Pawn
felt like maybe
G5.
there was a little more we could give
Yeah.
to the experience.
Yeah.
Pawn
and then Manny
captures
got in the
G5.
mix.
Yeah. Yeah. Greenius. He
Bishop F5.
I convinced him to try it because he's been very curious about it, but he was very scared because he also knows the dark side of these things. And I told him there's nothing to
Bishop
fear.
B4.
It was mild. It was not that bad. And so he went in,
King C3.
hit a haul, looked at me and said, this is fine. Hit another one, another one, another one, another one. 20 hauls in, all of a sudden, like, I'm just like chilling. I look back at him and he's just smiling at me. He's done.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Whoa, did it hit you like a truck?"
Yeah.
And I go, "No." And he goes, "It hit me like a truck." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, you let go. He's like, "I got to a place where I was hanging on to a dragon and it was flying through. It was made of space, of stars, and it was flying. I was hanging on," and he had his eyes closed in his mind because this dragon was just rushing through, you know, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And he didn't want to say how terrifying it was because he didn't want to scare me.
I think so. Yeah. He knows you.
So then we went into it.
Yeah.
And I took like 4 hits this time, big ones, and really like monster ones.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
Bishop at
I felt a familiar, terrifying feeling of phasing through my body. And this is when I realized,
King D4.
well, I realized this after, but it is exactly, almost exactly, like having an out-of-body experience. It is a near-death experience, and I think that's what happens with out-of-body.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing. I think we're all talking about the same thing.
Yep.
You feel yourself phasing. You feel
Pawn
out of
A5.
sync with your physical, like you're floating around inside
Bishop
your
D2.
physical,
Yep.
and that you could just get out. I think one more hit would have gotten me out of my body because it was so familiar.
Yeah.
Terrifying as every out-of-body experience that I've had, where I am completely out of my element. I feel like maybe I'm dying. There's like it's just like anything you can imagine will happen in this state. Anything
Bishop
you manifest
E6.
will instantly happen, good or
King
bad.
C3.
You want to fly, you can fly. You want to see shadow people with devil faces, guess what? That's what you're getting now because you thought about it. And it's like this instant manifestation realm that can happen out of body, and that can happen during this trip.
Yeah.
I saw fractals. I was in a tunnel filled with like
King B5.
concentric eyeballs, and like it was all the visuals, you know, that people describe or like
Bishop
show
E3.
you in these DMT trip things, like these magic eye type.
Yeah.
They're like, it doesn't really give it any accuracy.
C5.
Yes, it does. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Don't think it.
Bishop
Okay, there's
D2.
depth to it and dimension, but it's that. It's this.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Yeah.
When they make visuals of it. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what it was.
King
So I got
C6.
out of that feeling, you know, rather shaken up by the experience.
King B2.
It made me want to meditate thoroughly, and achieve that same experience sober like I did.
Yeah.
The last thing I'll say is that,
King B5.
you know, when I mentioned
C3.
my out-of-body experience, one of the
Pawn
biggest
C4.
recurring comments after doing
Pawn
Monroe
capture
was,
C4 check.
"Bro, if you think that's crazy,
Bishop
try
capture
DMT."
C4.
And my answer to that is, if you think DMT is crazy, try doing it sober.
Bishop C1.
Because it is massively
Bishop
more
E6.
rewarding, and it's essentially the same thing, but safer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bishop
I mean,
A3.
Less work involved.
less. Yeah,
Clearer, but that's what makes it so rewarding, right?
less work,
King
but less
C6.
control
That too.
as
Yeah.
well. Like with DMT, you're kind of like you're
Bishop
forcing it,
C1.
and it's kind of
Pawn
random
B5.
and scary.
Yeah.
Whereas without a body, there's intent
Bishop D2.
and there's meaning,
Pawn B4
but
check.
physically
King B5.
and like that
Bishop
phasing
E3.
feels the same.
Yeah.
It is, I believe, the same experience that you're having. So I was happy to find that out, that like it validated my OBE.
Pawn A4.
You know, that, oh, that was real what you had.
Yep.
But it was self-induced in broad daylight while you were awake.
Bishop D2.
You know, which is so much
King
cooler to me.
C4.
Yeah.
And you can do it whenever you want, essentially. If you,
Bishop
and I'm sure
E3.
as you practice more meditation, you could get
Yeah.
even better at that.
Yeah.
Pawn A3 check.
Yeah, I definitely felt a similar familiar feeling to
King
some of the
B1.
experiences I've had meditating and at the Monroe Institute. There were some things that happened in the DMT space that I have yet
Pawn
to
B3.
see in any of my other
Bishop
experiences.
C1.
I'll be honest there, but it didn't seem so crazy that I think I could. You know,
Pawn B2.
I think I could create it myself without that.
Bishop E3.
Maybe not that intensely so quickly.
Yeah.
But like, what am I after here? You know,
King B3.
I want to see what's on the other side, and if I can do that sober
Bishop C5
through my own means, which I
Pawn
love.
A2
Obviously, as a
checkmate.
memory champion, like I
Cool.
love that I can train my memory to do these things.
Yes.
Like, I love the idea that I could train my mind to get to a place like that.
Yes.
Through dedication and practice. That to me is super rewarding.
Same.
It adds to the whole
Pawn
experience.
E5. Knight C6.
Yeah, we're both, I think, cut from
Bishop
the same
B5.
competitive cloth.
Castles
We both
kingside.
have a natural
Knight captures
urge
E4.
to compete
Knight
and to
D6.
want to better ourselves
Bishop captures
to some
C6.
extent, and better,
Knight
and just
F5.
not only better ourselves,
King
but like
captures D8.
see things as
So that is
benchmarks
not
to try
the
to
best
beat
move.
that.
Bishop
That's
F4.
just a natural thing I think that
H6
we both
looking pretty good.
kind of have.
Bishop F4.
And you know, when you
Bishop
apply that
C5,
to your personal
but
health,
definitely
your mental
H6.
health, your
But this
physical
is
health,
playable.
I mean, you can be rewarded,
Knight C3.
you know, by things that are much more meaningful.
I mean,
than,
the problem with this
you know,
move is it
paycheck
gives
or
up
anything else.
this.
Like you get
Knight
deep
G5.
meaning and reward for that. So
I also just do want to say that I'm
Yeah,
not
it
poo-pooing.
doesn't matter though. This
anybody
is
who
such a
chooses to
drawing
use this. I
position.
mean,
Knight C3.
I think it's beautiful
Okay.
and magical that these
That is not that
Knight
great.
C3.
compounds exist in the world.
H6,
and
bishop
that
B4,
if we adjust
H6,
them-
bishop E7.
something happens within us. I
Yeah.
think that's so interesting and something that needs to be looked at and studied and explored more. I think it's up to
All
the
right,
person
so
to know
H6 is pretty good here.
what you're
Rook
after,
D8.
and knowing what's available.
Rook captures
Sure.
G8 check.
yeah, I think it's great.
King captures
I think it's
D8.
great that it exists.
Rook
And you said
D1
something
check.
to me that you'd
King
quoted
C8.
right before. You said, "Don't look at
Knight
this
E4.
as a drug. Look at it as a technology."
Yeah, I heard that from Andrew Gallimore, who's
Oh,
very
yeah.
well versed in
Bishop
the
E7.
psychedelic space. Has some amazing books. Highly recommend.
I saw
or
this,
check out
but
podcasts or
I don't
books by
know.
him.
Is it that great?
But yeah, he said that, and yeah, I feel like, and then there's still he does a lot of research with DMT. And
I guess it is that great.
technology and how to
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
access it and
the
explore
robot's saying go
deeper
rook
and for longer
E1.
periods of time. It's,
Knight
Yeah.
ED2.
it's cool
But,
what he's doing.
you know, you can do
I'm glad
that.
that I did it. I'm glad that we
Bishop
did it
D5.
together. It was nice to be around someone who I trusted and, you know,
So that's
who I'm
whatever.
experiencing this journey with. So that was nice.
Knight E4.
All right.
That being
Bishop
said, for
E7.
me, like I could do it again maybe in the future. I could see
Pawn
myself
G4.
maybe trying it again. But I don't.
Bishop D5
now that
here.
I've seen it, I'm disenchanted by it personally, only because of the previous
Cool.
experiences that I've had
Another
without it.
possibility. That
Knight
And
it's
maybe that's
better.
because I didn't hit like a
Knight
breakthrough.
captures H4.
But
Knight H4.
yeah, I still feel
Yeah,
like
knight takes
leaving
H4.
my
Knight
body
captures
was
H4.
more than this.
Bishop
A
captures
little bit
H4.
more, and I feel like I could have gotten there with
Knight
another,
G5.
you know.
Yeah, and here you get bishops
But
of
yeah,
opposite
very fun.
color.
I'm glad we
G5.
did it.
Oh,
it was,
but it's looking good. Oh,
profound.
yeah.
Pawn H6.
For me, not necessarily life changing,
E7.
but definitely.
Bishop takes
added
G4. I
to
can't
my
believe I
life
didn't see that.
experience
Rook
and
E8.
you know, gave me some much needed knowledge.
Bishop
you know,
B4.
for this journey.
Yeah.
I gotta take that
I still
pawn,
wanna
man.
Try to go to the other side at some point.
What
Yeah,
did I
I'm not
play?
dying to do
That?
it
Pawn
tomorrow.
B6.
Yeah.
I think it needs some space.
Freaking,
Yeah.
but still,
especially process.
little edge
uh,
for black.
Experience, especially that.
But I
first
mean,
time.
if
The
you
second
if you
time
just take the
was
pawn,
good, but it just
I just
felt
didn't see it.
like a lot
Bishop
heavier
captures
and
G4.
a little less direction than the first one. I'm so intrigued by
The entity.
this lady that I saw.
Yeah. It's like a Shiva.
Yeah, man,
God,
she was-
it sucks
it's hard to
because
even say
yeah, I
she.
can't
It was just
look
like a
at the.
collection of
I gotta get so
It's feminine
close to
energy.
see
yeah,
the.
but it wasn't like a
to
it
see
wasn't
the
like
analysis
a
that
body.
it's hardly
It was
even
just,
worth
like,
looking at.
shapes and she kind of had like a nose at times and
But yeah, that's pretty
beautiful
strong
eye,
there.
an eye.
I'd definitely be able to clean them up.
But like she was like luring me, man.
Ah, where's my
tantalizing.
fuck?
I think I go right.
Pardon
like
me,
a sex
it's
novel.
getting frustrating.
It's
I think I've had enough
weird.
for
I
the
felt
day.
embarrassed 'cause it's
E7.
like I'm
Oops,
next to you
let's
and
go
I'm
forward.
H6.
in a weird.
Bishop
I'm kink
captures
shaming
G5.
Yeah.
Pawn H6.
It was,
It's like,
it was prof-
good luck finding
Rook
that
E8.
category on Pornhub.
Pawn
Um,
B6.
Leah, I'd like you to
Pawn
dress up
H3.
like a fractal.
Pawn
With the head of an
C5.
elephant.
Yeah,
and
paint
6
yourself with
arms.
multicolor. Yeah. Yeah.
King captures
Can you
D8.
wear like a bunch of googly eyes on
Pawn
your face?
B3.
Perfect. That's the spot.
Pawn C4.
All right.
Pawn
I
F4.
mean, okay, we covered
Pawn
the DMT.
captures B3.
We covered a little bit of
Pawn
OBE.
captures B3.
Yeah.
We talked.
Yeah,
touched
just
on
a
it
little bit of an
earlier.
edge here.
But
King F2.
one thing I'd
King
like
D7.
to
That's
bring
still
up is
not-
D3. King
the
C6.
expeditions.
King
that you've been
E4.
having, and maybe this is
Bishop
a good
D5
time
check.
to bring up some questions.
King D4.
So as you know, as our
Bishop G2.
channel continues to grow,
Pawn H4.
we continue to add these
Bishop
lovely
H3.
perks to the members.
So where
on
did he
the
go
farms, as
wrong?
we call them here at Area
Pawn
52.
captures G5.
And one of those perks is to
Bishop
be able to
H3.
ask our guests a
Pawn
question,
H4.
or the opportunity to
G2.
ask our guest a question. So we've set up a few here,
G5, huh?
and we're going to get into these.
They're gonna show up on the.
They'll show up on a split flat behind me.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
That's super cool. It's like we're playing a game show here.
That's right.
So just letting me chase his pawns around like this,
Asks,
Pawn
when did your
G5.
and then
interest
getting that in,
cryptids
that's
Pawn
the
captures
loser right
G5.
there. So even
Bishop F5.
Man, I remember in 4th grade
Pawn
going to the
G5.
right
library,
here,
checking out
Pawn
books,
H4.
it ain't good.
finding
Bishop
ones on
G2.
UFOs and
I don't think it's
Loch Ness Monster and
losing,
other
but-
beings.
I don't know what negative
necessarily
.46
Bigfoot or
means on a
Sasquatch
board
or
like
Yeti
this.
or anything,
It
but
probably means a
definitely
draw, but
Loch Ness Monster.
it's
I
a
lived in
difficult
England at the
draw.
Hmm.
time. I was fascinated by
There's
that.
definitely
and
winning
aliens.
chances for black here.
So I'd say maybe.
But as
there.
soon as he plays that,
at a young
I think
age.
he's losing.
The Bigfoot /
Still
Yeti
not-
stuff in
Bishop
recent
H3.
years, just because I'm constantly
E6.
in areas where these stories come from.
Hmm.
The Yeti from Nepal and the Himalayas.
How many times have you
What?
been to Everest?
I think this was my 7th
E6.
time this year.
Wow.
Yeah, in
Pawn
that region.
captures
Yeah,
E6.
always to Everest
King
itself.
D3.
But the lore
Bishop
and the
captures
legend of
G4.
this creature is everywhere. And I'll come back to that. But then Bigfoot, even out where I live, which is not too far from you, upstate New York, is where
King D3.
Bigfoot lives in
Pawn
the
E6.
Adirondacks.
That's weird.
That area, Whitehall,
Bishop H3.
New York. And then
Pawn
you
But
got,
at this
G5.
point,
or
Pawn captures
I guess
G5.
the
Pawn
indigenous people
G5.
might call it a Sasquatch.
Yeah, Western Canada. That's
Or
usually-
is it more Western?
Yeah, that's
Pawn
Western
captures
Canada.
It's called
G5.
Sasquatch. Okay.
Bishop
But yeah,
F5.
in that corner
Bishop
as
B4.
well. I've
Bishop
been out there as
F5.
well, and that's I did a race this summer called Bigfoot because where it is where there's all this Bigfoot lore.
he's
Wow.
losing.
But yeah,
Pawn
in
captures
recent
G5.
trips, I'd hear stories from Sherpas of
Pawn G5.
an interaction with a Yeti.
He's still got some. That's got to be
yaks
losing.
Got attacked. And,
Pawn captures G5.
They got their heads twisted.
Bishop
Yeah,
I mean,
a
that's
yak herder, for
definitely
example, had
losing.
5 yaks
So
on
now
her,
I'm in
and
business.
This creature
Captures
attacked her.
C2.
She was knocked out. When she woke up, all the yaks' heads were twisted off.
Because
Just
I got
like, If
these
you ever seen a yak,
with
that is
this.
It's like the most
That is
robust
good.
cow you can imagine.
All right, let's do
Big
one
football
more.
player looking
One
thing.
more.
Yeah.
So that's don't know how that would happen.
Try to break through here.
And even
Our
those are
immediate goal
more
is to get to 1,500 in the next,
decade or so,
Sure.
or
week or
decades ago,
so,
These stories.
and then
But there's also
we'll go
legends
100
that
at a
span
time.
Hundreds of
Our
years.
goal right now is to get to 1,500,
go
then
back
we'll get to
hundreds of years ago.
16, then
Some
17,
of the local
18,
monasteries.
and 19. It'll be tough. 19's
So
tough,
many
but I can do it.
Everest excursions as well.
And then
like
we'll
any
we'll get
side-
to
Well, even that,
2,000.
yeah, that would
You know,
be
hopefully
coming
by then
to
I'll be able to
15
see again.
lines and-
I don't know. It's
and,
been a year
Knight
of
66 stuff,
treatment, and
footprints.
Knight F6.
Even some of the guides
Ay,
that I've
ay,
climbed
ay.
Everest with
All right.
have
Knight
little
captures
stories
E5.
and have seen footprints
Hmm.
in places where there
okay, I
should
just
be
did
no
I just
barefoot.
there's this
footprints that
14-year-old
march.
chess
Sure.
prodigy
Yeah.
from
On D6.
Turkey.
So
Can't remember his name,
who knows what's going on?
Knight F3.
but
and that
he's
was-
cool.
Knight
kind of
captures E4.
what I wanted to do on a recent
Pawn
trip
D4.
is document some of that
Knight C6.
for this channel, which I'm working on still. But fascinating stuff. Even if it's nothing, the legend there is beautiful, and it's so
Pawn
woven
D5.
into the
Knight
people
E7.
of that region.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was honestly never taken by any of this stuff, just because, and I've used this metaphor, like I haven't let it into my house yet. I don't know it. I haven't looked for it. I don't know anything about it
C4.
other than I hear people hunting Bigfoot and Yeti, and the Abominable Snowman of Pasadena is like my favorite Goosebumps book. But like that was the extent of my cryptid knowledge in that area. But
Knight
hearing
G6.
about you going to Nepal, and you brought this up to me, you said, Chris,
Bishop
like,
D3.
because we talked about, introducing
Knight
you on the
F6.
channel in a more official capacity, and we were trying to come up with an investigation for you to handle, where you would go out and investigate something, and you had suggested
Castles Kingside.
There's the Yeti in Nepal.
Bishop E7.
And not very many people get to go to Nepal on such a regular basis, let alone attempt, to climb Everest. And be so familiar with the locals. Like, they're good friends. Like, you've had some life-changing experiences with these Sherpa and these people there. So you have a really, really close connection that not very many people have ever had the opportunity to foster. And
Knight
so
C3.
it puts you in a really interesting position to be able to scratch
Castles Kingside.
the surface a little more. Because if I'm not mistaken, one thing that I've heard from your excursions is these people don't open up easily about this stuff. It's almost like talking to experiencers. Like, they want to vet you first to make sure you're not going to laugh at them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny because I went into it saying I'm going to ask everybody up the valley if they've had any encounter. And as soon as I said the word Yeti, they all laugh at me, as expected. I guess it's kind of weird to be like, what are we having for lunch? Have you ever seen the Yeti? But what's funny is pretty much everybody, the locals, they laugh at the question, and then slowly as they warmed up to me, they had a story. They had a story either from their childhood, that their father had an experience, or their mother, or they would talk about some of these ancient legends. And it was funny to hear in different valleys the same story, but slightly different. It was one major one. I won't go too deep into it just for time, but it was about how the Yetis got extinct, because apparently they were everywhere in the region.
Pawn capture C6.
The story's kind of the same, but the little
Pawn
elements
capture
are
C6.
different. But it's clear that had been passed down through different, lines. But the story's kind of based in some same place.
There's a seed of truth there somewhere.
Yeah.
Wow.
So interesting.
I mean, that's super fascinating because it's, it seems so,
Knight
it seems
D4.
so like childish to believe in something like that from like an external point of view. But when you meet these people who are sound, sane adults, and then you hear this recurring story, do you feel like it's like the UFO phenomenon where it's like, if you're not introduced to it, it just feels silly, but then the more you're in it, the more people talk about it, the more credible it becomes, and the more like you're like, oh, there is something here.
Yeah, totally. And even, with things like that,
Queen
they'll
C7.
poo-poo it and say like, oh, that's silly to believe that. But then they may have an experience that's unexplainable, and it's just kind of the same thing we're talking about. So I think people, it's like, you have scientists who are Christian. They believe in weird someone walking on water and turning like water into wine.
Yeah, magicians.
But I also believe in the scientific method.
That's right.
And that can't actually happen. But there's like this double belief.
Queen C2.
So I think most people are that way. They have their rational beliefs, but then they also have their pocket of supernatural that they believe also in some secret way. I don't know.
And then trying to connect the two.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's a good question. Thanks for that question,
But
Hex.
more on that in the future,
We got
Talk
another
about more
another investigation coming up. This is from Picture a Secret Tunnel. Or this is from Tess, I believe.
Okay.
This is Tess. Is this Tess? Yeah, this is Tess. Was the DMT realm experience like a trick of the senses, or did you feel a more fundamental connection with reality?
Good question. We briefly talked about this morning, that I didn't get to a point where I felt like
Rook
this
E8.
is the real. And I've heard people who break through get that sense. In some of the Monroe experiences that I had, I felt that definitely. I was like, oh, me laying in this bed, that's not really the real. Like me in this other astral plane, this is real. This is the real reality.
Bishop E3.
I don't know.
And so-
it's probably not good, but
Sorry.
Bishop F8.
Bishop F8.
Next question, didn't like my answer? All right.
No, it's cycling to this other thing that I have it set up.
Okay.
I'm still learning how to use this.
It just wants me to keep seeing the number 69 over there.
That's right. Yeah, I shut it off. And space launch alerts are
Rook
off as well.
FD1.
Okay.
Bishop
But
E7.
what I was going to say is, so going into the DMT experience, like I've already accepted that this is some kind of reality, or like at least where I got to the waiting room was like on the way there. but it definitely felt real to me when I'm experiencing it. I don't think it's a trick. I think it's my mind creating a world model out of what is there. I don't know what this DMT is showing me or something. I don't know how to explain it. But it's definitely introducing some confusion to my brain, and my brain's just trying to make sense of it.
Do you think your brain's trying to make sense of it, or does your brain like stop trying to make sense of it? Because
that could be that.
Because I feel like when your brain tries to make sense of it, that's when you get a bad trip. Because that's like you trying to stay grounded in this 3D world when your brain's like, no, we're going to disconnect. We're going to actually take off. Like, we're going to get out of your body for a second.
Yeah. Stop
Stop using your organs to limit your reality.
Right.
And experience life without physical.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like, I always felt like if you try to hold on to that, that's when things get scary.
Yeah.
Because then you're
Night
trying
at
to
5.
rationalize these irrational things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I mean, when I did my first
I do
trip
have a
with
threat here.
mushrooms,
I
felt
no,
like
I don't have a threat.
what was
Never mind.
happening to me
Is
was
that-
the veil was coming off, and I was aware that I was about to see the real reality. I didn't quite break through, but I had this feeling that over there, outside
Night
of
E5.
this, was that truth. And so now going into this DMT experience, I felt kind of the same, that I'm being shown more of the truth. And I remember even when I did the freebasing experience, I was outside looking at the stars, and I saw connections between the stars, like these green lines, as if those were like
Constellations?
or like how one travels from star, like they're all connected.
Oh.
It was like when you see airplanes and
Sure, yeah.
they go, like it was that, like this one goes
Whoa.
to there. If you can, I don't know, and it felt like that's the truth. I looked at that and I was like, oh, okay, these are all connected. I'm getting a glimpse of that now.
Wow.
Cool. That felt real. That felt real. And I'm also aware that it's a substance interacting with my
Sure.
brain, but I think it's
Bishop E2.
it's not tricking my brain. I think it's showing me the reality.
The star maps remind me of like
Pawn
the
G6.
Betty and Barney Hill, when Betty described like Zeta Reticuli, and she said they travel.
Yes.
Here to here.
Yes. Yeah, just like that.
Interesting. All right, let's go to another. I think we got 2 more here.
Okay.
This is from Picture a Secret Tunnel. This one here. This is a good question. This is a great question. The question is, if you had to encode the entirety of human history into a single unforgettable
H6 check.
mental image, what would that image look like? Now, as a memory athlete who, like, if I say 628,
Yeah. Oh, that's this guy, Mr. Silver, a teacher I had in high school.
if I say 212,
That's Andy. No, not Andy. It's no, it is Andy from the Office.
and what is he doing?
G7.
He's just being
Knight
a
G4.
dweeb with his little bow tie. Yeah.
So as a memory athlete, you associate numbers instantly, immediately, naturally now, fundamentally, to images. And I feel like that's so cool. When I did that with playing cards, it was so cool. It's like a superpower that you could just like line these images up and remember numbers.
And that's the basis of memory techniques, is encoding information into mental images. We remember them better.
So now, this is a beautiful question. Thank
captures
you,
G4.
Picture a Secret Tunnel, for this question. I love this
Pawn
question.
captures G4.
What would you encode the entirety of human history, not reality, of human history?
I don't know. My first instinct, and this is so cheesy, I feel like, okay. I don't. It's hard. Like when we're talking about a mental image, I'm almost being led to describe an object. You know, because if you think of an image, it should be you're thinking of a thing.
Right.
And I get into this conversation with encoding and memory techniques that, you know, when I'm teaching someone, it's like if you're trying to memorize a list
Pawn
and a
D5.
grocery list and you have broccoli, let's say, close your eyes, picture the
Pawn
broccoli. How
G5.
does it taste? How does it feel? Whatever. If you eat it, you know, can you imagine all those things? That's the image.
Yeah.
But as you get better at this, there's none of that. It's actually more of a feeling of something. And so if I were to explain what my image for a broccoli is, I couldn't tell you. And it's funny with the cards, when I train the cards, I'm super fast. Like one of my best days, I'm in the zone. I don't know what I'm seeing.
They just are.
It just is. You know, it's not like I'm seeing a picture of Andy from The Office dancing. No, it's just like a feeling of that, and I don't even need to recognize it. It's just there. So when I think about an image for that, it's hard to say like.
Well, what's the fundamental base image you would start with?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say love, right?
94.
But like, what is that? A heart? I don't know if that would represent it enough. So I'm trying to get away with an answer that's kind of like
Pawn captures
one
E4.
thing, but everything.
Right.
You know.
So what would be your representation of love? What's the image there?
Yeah. So I'm not seeing
Bishop
a heart.
D4
It would be
check.
like a warm, colorful, I guess reddish,
King G8.
just blah. That sounds so bad. It's more like
Queen
it makes
C3.
sense to me in my mind.
That's fine.
But like some kind of welcoming, warming blob. And,
Red blob.
yeah. But
Nice.
which maybe it's good because there's a lot of war and love in history, so maybe that kind of encompasses it all. But I feel like love is bigger than
Right.
the bad shit and the evil shit. So if I had to choose one, I guess maybe that. What about you?
Yeah. It's a terrifying question to even like try and it's such a response like you have such a responsibility.
Yeah. What about this?
Queen
Let's say
F4.
we know that there's a million alien
I see like the
planets.
Vitruvian Man,
Oh, okay. Okay.
sort of the Vitruvian Man,
Bishop
but like
F6.
instead of a circle around him, it's the Earth,
Yeah.
and
okay.
he's sort of in a sphere.
Okay.
That's
I
and like
that.
so everything is happening on the Earth
Yeah.
because all of human history has only ever happened on the Earth, save the moon. But so the Earth would have to be, for me, part of that mental image.
Yeah.
Because that's where it happens. That's what it's about. And then human history, the human side of it, is like this Vitruvian Man, which represents man.
Rook E6.
And so that's the image that I would have.
Okay.
But I think more, but I'm not a freaking memory athlete, so
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say another idea.
I'm sure a nebulous red blob is a better depiction of human history.
Rook D7.
But yeah, if maybe we're gonna go with here's a thought experiment. What if we have, there's some like galactic federation and they're looking at all the planets. Like say there's 100 and maybe there's
Bishop
more,
C8.
but each one has like a feeling like, oh, that's the
Or
one
like-
with the humans,
Or like a sigil, yeah.
that's the one with the schlurbs. That's
Yeah.
the one with the schlooby-doos.
We
Okay.
don't use that word anymore.
Sorry, yeah, that was the old terminology for that.
Rook D2.
But what would be the, what would they say about the humans? Oh, those are the.
Warmongering.
Pawn
Well,
H6.
see, yeah, maybe, but I
Yeah.
feel like more they'd be like, oh,
Pawn
those are the
G3.
like, compassionate, sweet ones.
Queen
Yeah, it's like a
F5.
wasp's nest, I would think.
That would be the one for the.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Rook
Yeah,
AD1.
they're always attacking. They're even attacking each other. It's wild.
Pawn captures G5.
Yeah, they don't even attack us.
Shit.
They just attack each other. So strange. Looking at it from third person is so strange. Okay, let's go to the next one here.
Cool question.
Yeah, great
All right,
question.
I played
We
crappy.
should've talked about this when we were high.
Yeah,
Man.
definitely.
That was a bummer.
So here we go.
Oh man, I'm
Massive
having trouble
Castles
seeing.
asks,
My eyes are starting to wear out. I need to rest them. I
How
played too much today.
have your out-of-body
Tonight. I
experience
should've
shaped
worked,
your views
but-
on
Knight F6.
death?
I gotta get back to work,
yeah.
but I can
Pawn
still
G6.
work and do this.
Totally
Knight
changed
F3.
it.
Pawn
I
D4.
That's the right move, right?
Knight C6.
I've always hoped that there was more
Pawn
to this.
D5.
I don't want to die and
Knight
that be the
C6.
end. But for a large part of my life, I guess since like 10 years old, I stopped believing in
Knight
God
E7.
and became a devout atheist. And through my teens to
Pawn
like 20,
C4.
I loved arguing with
Knight
anybody.
G6.
You're
Bishop
wrong.
D3.
This is it.
Knight
Actually,
F6.
I'm the only thing that exists. You're all
Castles
figments of
kingside.
my imagination.
Bishop E7.
Stuff like that,
Knight C3.
solipsism and whatever.
Castles
And I was
kingside.
okay with that. I convinced
Pawn
myself
H3.
like, I am all I
Pawn
need,
C6.
and I don't need a god
Pawn
to
capture
help me get
C6.
through the days. And
Not
when I
good.
die, I'm in the earth. and
Pawn
that's-
C6.
Yeah, there's nothing.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
And it's not bad because there's nothing. So
Yeah.
what can I feel bad about, right? And so I've never really had like the fear of death
Bishop E3.
to like instill
All right.
a need to believe in something bigger yet, at least. But after the Monroe Institute experience and having out of body experiences, and also
All right.
this thing that was drilled into us that we are more than our physical bodies, like I have no question that is the case.
Pawn captures
And
D5.
I already started to have inklings of that because of the remote viewing stuff I got into.
That's pretty good.
It's like, well,
Excuse
if
me,
this is
I'm
possible,
getting tired. I
how
guess
is it
it's time for
possible?
me to call it quits
And
tonight.
that kind of opens doors
But
to things that I was like, I don't know if
Let's
I
see if we
can
can get anything out of
believe
this.
in that yet. But the out of body,
So,
you know,
I guess
being
I
able
did
to get
all
out
right.
and see
Was
and
there-
experience
Bishop
things
E3.
in this other realm.
Pawn
So
C6.
after
I
that,
just
that's
got
not
answers that
great.
H3.
gave me a belief.
Pawn C6.
Not super bad
more than a
either.
belief, sorry,
Pawn
a
captures
knowing,
C6.
a personal knowing. You
Pawn
know,
captures C6.
that there is more to this.
Knight
And
D4.
I
not
walked away
great.
from that
Queen
experience
C7. Queen C2.
just not afraid,
Rook E8.
almost excited.
Bishop E3.
I'm not excited to get to that point, but
I know
excited
what
for
you're
the
saying.
grand
Bishop
arc
F8.
Yeah.
of whatever this is.
Rook
And
F
noting
D1.
that this is just a little blip of that entire
Bishop
thing.
B7.
Yeah.
And I can enjoy this
Knight
more because
F5.
it is so special
Mm-hmm.
for this
Knight E5.
fleeting moment that I'm here. You know?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I also get the
Yeah,
sense
I
that
was looking
like,
at that.
when you said that, like you're excited, like
Bishop
I've
G5.
shared that with friends and they get very
Knight
concerned
E5.
very quickly.
Bishop
I'm like,
E2.
no, I'm looking forward to dying, and they're like,
Pawn G6.
what?
Yeah,
They're like, are you okay? Should I call someone? I'm like,
Knight
no,
H6
like I look
check.
forward to it. Like I'm not,
King G7.
I'm not afraid of it at
Knight
all,
G4.
and I can't wait to figure it out. I can't wait to find out
Pawn captures
what
G4.
happens. I can
Pawn
wait.
captures
I will
G4.
wait, and when the time
Pawn
comes, the time
D5.
comes. But when that
Pawn
time
G5.
comes, know that I'm
So you made a
not
boo-boo
going
here.
to-
Bishop D4. Yeah, so
I
just
feel bad for
immediately.
everyone else
Bishop E4.
because I'm the one that gets to find out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on that bed and everybody's like, "Oh, you die alone." I'm like, "Yeah, cool."
Pawn C5.
Well, you know, sucks to
Knight
be you guys
captures
because you guys are
D5.
still gonna be like, "What happens?" And I'm going to find out. I'm gonna go find out right now, real quick.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just a weird thought that I had like the other day was that
Bishop captures D5.
more people have died than are alive today.
Yeah.
Right. So more people.
That's a
found
tricky
out.
tactic, dude.
There's a very small percentage of people that don't know what happens after you
See
die.
that tactic? That's
There's a
crazy.
tiny percentage of mankind that doesn't know what happens after you die.
Okay,
Well,
chess
actually,
is
not that
hard.
tiny, I mean, it's-
There's
I'm
no
tired.
human that's never found out.
That's right.
But we did all
That's
right.
And so that's a comforting thing.
We're still up there.
I too,
Almost to 1,500.
you know, had a
So
similar arc.
next
where
week or two,
it's,
we'll get there.
You know, started off raised Catholic, became atheist,
All
then
right, so
agnostic,
yeah.
even believing again a little bit, and then coming back, and
Well,
but then eventually being.
I guess we'll call it quits
you
for
know,
tonight,
just sort of
and
open
I'll be
to
back
this
soon.
spiritual,
And have a
know,
wonderful night.
realm.
Thank you.
and what it has to offer my human